Well, now we can't stop now. There's no point in trying to stop now. We're like a pack of goblins with some vampires. Then I guess these things existed. The ancient world probably lied to us. But like the ancient world, the modern world is a close relative. Then you need to copy like what's available. Or at least all of these things you talk about, right? While the skeleton's eyes are green for you. So we'll teach you how to have a few minutes break or something. Peace and quiet, mate. Listen to where you live. Perhaps for a few minutes, you might realize we're trying to plan or something. 35 minutes, right? Well, that's 30 seconds, which can seem like a lot of time, mate. But is it, mate, in the ancient world? DMS, CLS, G's of gang, my G, 100,000 prospects and living in the same city that's overpopulated or the modern world. Seems like it's easy, right? Well, then I guess we do something for the empire, which I guess could only exist if only in the first place, not at the end. The end when even DJ slaydem is part of this whole conspiracy. Biker gangs and just like the ancient world. Well, then I guess you've got to do something for the good people. Well, the spice market, right? You want to do something for the books or the gangs, or even if it exists, right? So we better stay in the picture. Well, then we need to have a few minutes of silence. Then maybe people can see the green eyes that are looking at you, how you got to get up, mate, in the hood and the jungle. I'll be back in a few minutes, mate. The power of a vampire is more reliable and better, but we'll see for the first time. Or if the cockroach is gone. Well, then I guess for the empire, right? We got to follow the book, right? The book of knowledge, Warcraft and goblins and stuff, right? So then we will follow the book, right? The book that has led 1,000 tales, 1,000 islands. And who wants to see the vampire? So I guess the Hidden Council, Senate, ancient empire, spice markets, and the whole frontier. I guess then these things exist. But there's a shadow that's growing in the empire, the frontier, right? The empire, the whole frontier. There's a shadow, you know what I mean? A whole lot of bandits and Mongols like the ancient world. Then I guess we need to take a bit of space, right? Walk around or something. Like the council, you know what I mean? And then we have a lot of decisions to make, important decisions that could regard the whole empire, perhaps the universe. Well, if you're living in this Skrilla, this jungle, the same place that I'm saying we should get up, right? Get some AR-15s, mankind's best, our own technology, which I guess you've got disputes to deal with, old debts, personal favors, witchcraft, Africans, goblins from the mountain, and goes on and on in the first 3 minutes, right? So then I guess a bit of exercise, right? Well, then probably people are telling the truth, right? So the first time you probably join the ancient world with the book of knowledge, right? The book of power is not for everybody, mate. I thought maybe you with us. Then I realized something else, mate. You might be one of those people, mate, from the other empire. Then you're missing counsel for quite a long time. Well, not at the end. Then surely at the end we want to see some sort of a gang power or something. Well, that's why we've chosen bandanas. And a whole lot of things that people are working hard for. So we're going to stick with the ancient world. Well, the first thing is a bit of exercise. Or at least some sort of evidence. Someone's paying for this. Electricity, the problem with the modern world is like the ancient world or high school, right? It's always at the end. The end when somebody wants the book of knowledge or something. He's now coming to the holy book, mate, that's giving us all of this problem. Well, that's just like counsel, mate. Well, then I guess we've got to stick with this for about 10 minutes. Well, then for the first 10 minutes of your life, it's all about the frontier, mate, which could lead where we live. This very island, mate. Too many people want to try to come at the end without paying debts of biker gangs, alien invasion, in the millions, mate. So what do? Probably stick to the book, mate. But who's going to tell somebody? In this shady world, mate, the book could close unless we open a market or something. Well, then somebody needs to be the security or something, and more than a biker gang, right? Well, then maybe that's why you come into the spice empire, mate. Because it was a bit too spicy, right? You sort of seen you needed something else, witchcraft or something, maybe a boyfriend or something. So we'll look deeper into the book. While we're on the first pages, mate. Thank God, mate. Don't want to really talk about what we have. Witchcraft and vampires, these things exist. Probably people are telling the truth and they're broke. Well, then I guess you've got all sorts of things, mate. The Supreme Council disputes, trying to worry about like the ancient world. So now there's a lot of things involved. You got to try to time yourself. So that's 5 minutes. So I guess the ancient world, you got to be like a real emperor or something. You got to take it serious, right? Well, we're trying to go for at least 35 minutes. Well, in 35 minutes, I guess a lot of time to play DJ Slaydem. Then they can't kill you if you're in the jungle. Well, then I guess we've got the book or the plan, the script. We're going to stick with this. We're in the first 6 minutes. But I guess the last 4 minutes of the first 10 minutes will teach you a lot of things from standing up, medicine as well, how blood should circulate. But before that, we want to see some evidence, mate. There's some sort of biker gang here, a market or something. Something to trade or make money, or somewhere to get some cigarettes, right? Or some social welfare benefits. The drug dealer must pay for that, man. The guy who's on the motorbikes as well. You catch a hike, man. But that's all right. We're going by the book for once. So that's the first 6 minutes, I guess. Death is inevitable, mate. But imagine the skeleton is looking at you, man. That's a bit of a funny joke, eh? Simplicity is next to excellence, mate. But timing yourself with technology and stuff, then I guess everybody understands English, right? But is it like a relationship? Then I guess the ancient world is dangerous. But then we're coming into technology. Technology, how important it is, the lockdown, trying to witness what's happened, how people have chosen our type of world, which seems unimportant, but perhaps is a stark reminder, mate. Stay on the toes, don't listen to those people. Try to get into your own sort of kit, mate, which doesn't work right now. We're talking about technology. Technology, what happened in the lockdown. Maybe people are expecting us not to try to fight back or something. But then it's probably true, mate. So we're moving on to technology. Well, then I guess there's a lot of disputes over technology. Scout ships and things could have a look on the world, while the world is at a dire state, mate. Maybe a few combinations, and then trying to kit up or something, mate. Are you the bad person? Are you the good person? Perhaps it's true, but the one who is kitted up is going to be obviously faster, right? If it can travel through time or fly like an aeroplane, well, then I guess Star Wars is not allowed. Then I guess we're doing something for the whole empire and the frontier. While we want to sort of like have something for ourselves, our story. How we're coming from Africa and all these places, and professionals came after us. Well, that's why I'm jumping out of an aeroplane, mate. You're a million times better. Everyone says at the end, not at the end. The end is obviously when all of these zombies, the things, could manifest, mate. But we're not talking about that. The very monster's probably awake, right? So that's the first 8 minutes. So we're going to try to have a 35-minute relationship or a biker gang fight. While we're going to try to do a multiple things, get something, groceries, or at least education, right? About this thing you're talking about. Well, then we'll have a bit of a few minutes break, mate, and I'll just show you the book, right? Well, then I guess a bit of peace and quiet, some silence, mate. You can hear the Mekong Delta creeping up on you, man. But for once, whose job is that? Probably a whole lot of things nobody understands, mate. So that's the first 10 minutes, mate. So you can play this bullshit around us. Same city and all of these things. You'll be surprised, man, what the council can do. People seem to want to like to be a gangster or something. But then DMS, CLS, G's of Gang, Central, the city, G, got to kit up, right? The very monsters awake. The vampires, the werewolves, the floods. Well, that's all good, bro. Till I'm flying out of the aeroplane, mate. Which is another day in the same Popeye's chicken, right? You opened up in my city and came with a whole lot of things that a lot of 10 minutes is not going to work. Mate. Then I guess like some sort of gym or something. Then you better be on par, mate. Perhaps it could save a lot of trouble, mate. So we'll have a few 30-second minute break, mate. But at least we've got a book, mate. So we're trying to stick to this for a lot of reasons. Because we're talking about technology now. We're coming in 10 minutes on technology. So we have to follow. Well, what technology has permitted, right? Like the ancient world or something. So it's proven. Proven it's a danger, mate. A danger that some people maybe you need to do some witchcraft, diversion, and a whole lot of things. The first thing, a few minutes peace and quiet. Yeah, going with simplicity and opulence, mate. Eh? You can be Einstein, you can be Thomas Edison, Stephen Hawkins, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. You can be anybody that's working in the government. But then I guess simplicity is going, obviously, is going to knock out the important places. You got to look. Well, I mean, it is late at night, but that's proven it's professionals, right? Well, then if it's professionals, you're going to have something professional for yourself. Well, then it's probably into the jungle world, Mad Max or something. Well, then we need to do something for ourselves and people like us, people that want some sort of English as well. So the next 10 minutes, we're talking about technology, how it's changed, how the lockdown has influenced people to move fast, why people are going for technology. Well, the skeleton is all around. Technology obviously is going to work, but the best technology is ancient world because you got the book, and all of this is psychology. It's a whole different type of technology, which seems like neuroscience. So don't be worried about the symmetry. How can I have something like that in my presence unless it exists? So only with the Spice Empire, mate, you're gonna have something written down at least, man. But not at the end. Not enough people thinking about the book of knowledge, man, which I picked up on the Silk Trail, man, on my adventures, which got washed away. But we bounced back, bro. Just like the ancient world, eh? Everybody joined a spice empire. So then I better take another few minutes before we talk about technology, right? Which I guess is simple as it seems, while you can be clever. Even the same person, right? Eh? But then I guess we're doing this like the very ancient world, right? So we got to have a kit or something or some sort of a military discipline, right? Napoleon, Portuguese, English, Islanders, Maoris, they're living with cannibals, mate. Eh? That can just make you shiver. Probably it's true, but I have seen a lot of stuff, mate. Eh? But as soon as you do this sort of thing, the psychological battle, you're now turning the mob against him. The same monster has realized he needs groceries, electricity. He needs us for something, which I guess is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about technology. How technology seems stupid and foolish. Why not enough people want to use technology? Well, technology has changed for a lot of gangs where we live. Obviously, you've seen a lot of stuff, but not your own. Which means, obviously, you don't stand in front of AR-15s choppers with 300 rounds unless you're looking for trouble. But that's on a menu if you're playing this sort of thing, which is good. It can cause a whole lot of things, like the ancient world, a market, a distraction, a place you build something, you play this, and use these things to teach people to be safe. Nobody can hit your head with a baseball bat. And obviously, the psychology, man, can scare away a lot of problems. Well, now we're in the first 13 minutes, right? Technology, you know what I mean? Star Wars, Star Trek, all of these gangster things you got to implement is a better strategy, mate. Eh? Well, then I guess like the ancient world, then you need to do something for the spice empire, the market, the people that are supposed to exist, right? Well, probably they're dangerous. But like the ancient world, you got to do something for everyone and yourself, man. You got to put some sort of like a buffer, like a credit, you know what I mean? A fight or something, which I guess we're almost halfway through. But that's 13 minutes of technology and how it's totally changed. Nanotechnology, how people can communicate with their minds. You got to be careful in this world. Neuroscience, they can bluff you. Unless you've got some sort of psychological edge that it can't enter. Obviously, you hear voices. You're now living out in the extreme future. You know, all of these apocalypses and soldiers jumping out of aeroplanes and coming to the ancient world is no different. Well, then I guess, like a lot of empires, they mistaken the Spice Empire for pushover and trying to come at the end. I wish, my friend. A lot of people have worked hard. But I guess with technology, you've got gangsters technology, you've got robotech ships, you know what I mean? They seem stupid during the lockdown. People could have run for their lives, they're so happy. Obviously, a lot has changed. Simple to build, fast, and it's going to beat everybody in the world. Perhaps it doesn't work. Then why leave your neighborhood? There's a lot of reasons. Then you've got to spoil someone. Then it's good. Then you can do your job, which is like the ancient world, right? Somebody still needs to pick up. Then I guess you need to write it down or make a difference. But then I guess with technology, the government is like a prostitute that's getting raped or something. It's not on our level. We need to send DJ Slaydem into here with 100 tanks or something. Now times are bad. Obviously, people are confused. Well, then that's why I said stay on your toes at least. While people have family, friends, groceries, a whole other thing they can do for once. There's nothing else for once, as usual. They've duped everybody. Well, not our little spice market. Probably they met up with the same skeleton and world. They're riding on ships, like many before. So we give them Ada do so many sante, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, another few minutes of peace and quiet. Like an interlude, mate, to clear the mind, neuroscience, medicine. For once you can see how crazy and difficult it is. But I guess the ancient world you talk about now, 15 minutes, right? So we're talking about technology. These things probably exist. You got to copy Hollywood. It makes a whole lot of difference. You implement technology, you're going to take over a lot of things. There's no point trying to be positive unless you've got money or something. Well, then they've obviously they see the same vampire, the same werewolf. Well, then it's been spoken of, mate. Even in this book of ours. I'm just trying to see something. If it's a book or something, right? Well, then surely it's something from the ancient world, right? Well, then I guess with the book, we're talking about technology. First 16 minutes, we writing a whole lot of things down. We're coming to the earth. Obviously, it's overpopulated, mate. The earth is beautiful. Probably there's trillions of humans. And you know, mankind. Mankind's already planning a horror spectacle, mate. Must have found himself surrounded, outnumbered, without a book or something. You know, mankind. He wants to try to cut off the power and forget about it. Well, not the paratroopers, mate. You've got to come diving, mate. But with those skeletons, mate, maybe staying on your toes, mate. Try to get some sort of fantasy in your life. Could make all the difference, mate. It's only 35 minutes. Well, at least we're halfway through. Now you can time things for yourself. That you can see you're not even a good soldier. But then I guess with technology, the government has built all these simple things, mate. Is not advanced. Well, not for the drug dealers and Africans. Ancient world also has got no technology. You should be lucky, mate. With mankind's technology, you could have been in a mass grave or something. Those things are so dangerous. But it happens all the time. People don't want to go on top of those people, which is the problem. That's what I said. Well, then we need some sort of book or something. Well, then I'm talking about the same system, the government or something. I'm only going with nothing else but our book of knowledge. I guess technology has changed. The cops can now go in the brain. So many problems, mate. Nobody's got the real therapy. Well, what is therapy, mate? Only a God can do that. Not at the end. Well, then I guess it's 17 minutes, so we're halfway through. You come to the earth and you've got all these ships, a wasp nest and stuff. That's what happens is better. It's simple, faster, and people know who the person is. Well, because you've got a dedicated technology and battle shift, you know what I mean? Person is coming in a kit and doing battles, biker gang fights. Then this is a good thing to play because now you've only got maybe halfway through another 15 minutes. So with technology is amazing, man. It's built, every 48 hours and stuff. Easy to build those things. You got to come with technology and stop trying to listen to the Spice Empire. Those people are too spicy, bro. The day my life changed is millions of years ago, mate. You only do those things if you're gonna have a bit of peace and quiet. Then I guess a few minutes, mate. I'm gonna try to have something to drink. Yeah, bro, got a little book on wizardry and stuff here. Talking about technology, you're not gonna be going for hours or something in this talk. You know us trying to stay within the 35 minutes, and that's how it is. I guess even a battle, mate. 35 minutes is a lot of time, can teach all the police and these so called soldiers, mate. This thing can get you out of trouble, mate. These simple gimmicks, even in prison, mate, give you a whole advantage that the brain you'll never understand, mate, unless you've got a kit and you're ready to go out there and solve the thing. But then I guess the empire they need to see some sort of like evidence or something, like a market or something. Yeah, you've got technology. But then I guess with technology, you've got to be careful of gangsters' technology. Obviously, you've got some sort of person that's a problem. Then that's all right. Because sometimes you want out of the ancient world, which I guess you trapped for eternity, mate. Seems easy, but these things do exist. It's an advent of poverty in reality, brings a warped dimension. Now, what logical person wants to go inside there? That's what I try to tell you, mate. It seems too easy. The body is well taken over. You've got to come to a point where like this is the last 10 minutes. So I'm following this thing for a lot of reasons. Want to talk about like helium balloons is lighter than oxygen and air. You know the NOS and what have you. Helium, those things for those is lighter. Obviously, gravity is holding you down. Don't listen to this one syndrome, one spaceship, mate. Imagine this insanity. Living with a white man is bad. But I guess if it's lighter than gravity, helium is definitely going to fly. Like Dune and all these things. He refuses. So we are making it in the blockbuster, right? Well, what seems like the blockbuster. Or warped imagination or dimension. Or probably somebody could be raping and killing women or something. Somebody we're not holding accountable, a debt or problem in this market. But now we're in the last 10 minutes, my dear. Thank goodness this is out there. Because that's what the empire is asking for. So we're talking about helium balloons and how easily and faster billions and overpopulated worlds can take over. It's the water world. While you're asking the gangsters. So we've only got about 9, 10 minutes left. Obviously, communication is so important. Then you can communicate with the whole territory, the frontier and stuff. Then for once you can be in a whole better position. With communication, you can be the overseer, overwatcher. Then you don't have to rely also on a biker gang member and a lot of things that you shouldn't. But then I guess every now and again you've got to keep on pushing this empire to do better. Otherwise, we're relying on the very same system that is so supposed to be successful. But I guess the empire wonders, like, how do they do it, mate? Then I guess we're talking about other things, Dune movies at Hollywood, mate. And of course, the empire, mate. Probably they don't understand. But then that's all right, man. We've got a whole book here, you know what I mean? The book of knowledge and power we're sticking with. So we got our last 9 minutes, man. I guess the empire needs a queen. Every empire needs a queen. Even my empire, mate. Then I guess the empire needs a queen in a nick of time as well. So we've only got what another 8 minutes. That's good, mate. Then we've got something to play for the empire. Well, it's better than non criminal. But I guess the empire needs to have public appearances, even if it's a shopping mall or something. It's gonna make everything better, mate. Now trying to rely on something that you have to go inside this place makes all the difference. Like the ancient world, soothsayers, Aladdin, all these things come from Hollywood. Think about this place where we live, the ancient world, the market, right? So then I guess it's easy, mate. Build some sort of little marketplace or something. Then at least you've got people, right? Well, then it must be a king or something, an apex predator. Well, then just let me look inside this book, mate. This is our book, mate. So we've only got another 8 minutes. Well, then it's got to be a long relationship, mate. This thing's got to last 30 minutes, mate. If somebody's not in your life longer than this, mate, then I guess that's how it is to be a queen of the frontier or the empire, right? Well, then I guess you've got to go through this hard nickel and diamond and hard work, which I guess seems so bad. But sometimes you shouldn't. Sometimes you spoil yourself. Or sometimes you're now part of the spice empire. This is coming searching and looking, mate. It's by the book, you know what I mean? Then I guess the ancient world is a relative of the modern world. Now, the ancient world is like the modern world. You've got bandits and all these things, but not with something like this. Then I guess it's the end of the battle, mate. Then I guess the spice market and those places is like marketplaces and things. But this is only better because now you're on the internet now. Well, now it's the end of the battle, right? So you can put the book down, mate. But possibly with the last few minutes, and not too much philosophy, not too much nightclubs either, but maybe something else, something that's like a documentary or something. Well, not all about yourself, other people, the empire, how the spice market needs a queen. You know, the empire balls, spring balls, public appearances. Well, because you come by yourself, you go by yourself. You've got to be careful, mate. Who you trust and who you don't trust, and a whole lot of things, mate. We're trying to get kitted up. Well, then I guess you've got to be a soldier like us. Then it's not too bad, mate. But I guess like the spice market and these places, they need a queen. Even I need a queen. Well, if it could only happen, mate, in a world of that shit. Well, then I guess the end is like a fight or something. Well, it's a different fight. It's not only a lesson to those type of people, but it's a lesson to everyone. Probably, I guess, with women and stuff, you need to look after, mate. But I guess with the last few minutes, we're by 26 minutes. The last 6 minutes, you also got to try to be like a girl also. I mean, a lot of people have children and stuff. So you've also got to think like, man, if I also don't ride around or try to do something, I have no groceries. Now, what market am I in now? Probably it happens, mate. Then you've got to try to get the very book people are dreaming about, right? Well, then the last few minutes, I guess, everyone needs a queen needs a king, family needs a mom and dad. Now, the sort of world that's flooded, the sort of world that you're depending on, is depending on DJ Slaydem. DJ Slaydem is no more. I've paid for this thing, man. This thing's now won $70 billion more. Is the day he lost the election, mate. Is the day I sent him back home. Then I realized a lot of things with the spice market. Then for once they're gonna see proper. They'll get scared of this bullshit, bro. Because you got a helmet and things like this. Then you know exactly like a vampire, which is good. A vampire for a vampire. Then you've got to stay like that. Be careful of the mind. Easily somebody could take it over. Then I guess we're in the 30 minutes. Don't be too greedy. Don't try to be talking for hours and hours. You're done. Try to get recordings first. But with that, think about $900 trillion. How easy it is to be made. If everything is easy, then I guess one choice is correct. Money, right? Well, money is as good as what they say, right? Well, not if the skeletons in the book is after you. Then I guess the ancient world is like the modern world. The last few minutes you don't get greedy. Spice market has got to be spicy. It's got to be nice. Well, maybe that's the problem. Those places, India and stuff. They haven't really seen how dangerous the DJ Slaydem spice market is. It's capable of creating havoc out there. Or what he seems, mate. Too many times they're expecting DJ Slaydem to be one of these jokers that's dancing in the government or something, a jester or something. And who's that? Not me. While you can see what I mean, mate. Dodgy. And sometimes you got to keep on the toes of the same monster you're talking about, right? You got to write it down and stuff. But don't be too difficult, mate. You got to try also to be in the 30-minute mark, not under. Because then now you're not like a patch member or something. So try to come to the 30-minute, but don't talk about things like that. Because then you fail in the whole system, right? Then think about it. The people don't want to live, but they're talking about something which is from the ancient world. So we'll take another few minutes just to keep quiet, mate. While it's also for prisoners and people. But yeah, that's the ancient world, man. You need a market and horses and a whole lot of things. 30 minutes and not more. Well, maybe people are right. So instead of going 30 minutes, man, you need to treat your girlfriend and your parents better. Too many people are coming at the end. After the whole thing has probably been a catastrophe. But that's all right, mate. You always need to think of something else. But that's the empire, the market, and put in the gold and being spicy, but not too spicy, bro. Trying to be gangster and tough is not going to work out unless you really are, which sometimes seems horrible, seems sad, but then I guess that's how it works. If you're living in the spice market, you got to get punched or something, or at least you're the overseeker. Well, that's the end of the episode of the Empire. Trillions and billions, and I know for myself, if anybody believes anybody's our own firepower, done and dusted, you will smash